Right, what is good, people? Welcome back to my YouTube. Right, so we are 17 weeks post show and we are now 15 kilos up. Okay, it's been probably the hardest week of off season so far for me. I've been dealing with so many injuries. Basically, my adductor was continuously contracted for the whole week, so my right knee was just in agony. And this is sometimes where you have to realize, even as someone who's got as much experience as myself, like, you do make mistakes. Continuously pushing weight, eventually there's going to be a knock-on effect, especially if you're on cycle. Your muscles grow 3 times as fast because your muscle photosynthesis is increased due to being on the cycle. However, your tendons don't repair at that same rate. So that's why I'm getting so many niggles in my joints and stuff like that. So now for this month, every single weight is staying the same. I might increase my weights. I'm still going to take everything to failure. But what I'm going to do is just improve every single rep, make every single rep hurt like a madness. Every single morning, taking my blood glucose levels. Okay, this is an important thing that you do throughout. So mine's currently 4.1, so we know my body's receptiveness to carbohydrates is really high. Also take blood pressure every single morning, because we know when you're taking tests, it increases the blood density levels, your platelets. So that goes on to some of the supplements that we have to take to then deal with that. So thyroid also has a knock-on effect. So I take 150 T4 to 50 T3. So my conversion of the T4 converts into T3 to keep my thyroid in a healthy place. We also take telostrophy, 40 milligrams a day. This is going to stop blood clots, anything like that. Just going to do a couple of client check-ins and then we're going to start doing some food prep. Right, what is going on, Miles? Okay, so even though we are the same weight, composition is tighter, okay? You feel like you can push your body again, energy level is in a better place. So, easiest way that I always find to do my food prep is to have a couple of things on the pan, right? Have an air fryer, so that I have my potatoes in there, cooking while I'm going. I have my beef in one pan, chicken in the other, and the other, I have the other chicken meal as well. I find that by having 2 different types of chicken in a day, it means that I'm not getting bored with flavors. And as well, I always make 8 meals, right? So if I make 8 meals and I put half in the freezer and I have 1 spare every single week, I've got a different flavor that eventually accumulates to, when I defrost 1 week, I basically got a different flavor every single day. So I'm just randomly picking out flavors. And that means that I'm never getting bored. Like, I don't understand people who food prepping. Like, if you had a Nando's one day, you had a Chinese one the next day, then you're having some next curry, how are you getting bored? You might even have a little Mexican on the side one day. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're continuously changing up your food, you can't get bored. Like, off season, that's what it's all about. Enjoying your food. You're gonna be eating so much quantity. And to be honest, when you're eating that amount of quantity, the endorphins that food is setting off isn't really doing as much to you because you're getting a little bit bored. You get that food boredom. Like, whereas when you're in prep and you're hungry, every single meal feels like some next orgasm. I feel like you're about to come yourself every time you're about to eat, bruv. Like, you're sitting there like, so currently 150 grams of core as my pre-workout meal with 100 grams of blueberries and 20 grams of dark chocolate. And then I'm obsessed with the sticky toffee pudding flavor trained by JP. So I have 50 grams of that. I just love the mixture of the 2 flavors. Another one that I quite like is maple syrup. Maple syrup from Trained by JP bangs as well. So, and I love to have that with white chocolate hazelnut from before. So, as you can tell, I'm a bit obsessed with cream of rice. Got enough flavors in there. I've got like 6 flavors on the go, but we're trying to stop that food boredom. Splash of cinnamon, and then our sodium. As you can see, we've got a lot to do today. I've already done, so all American and Australian clients are doing 1 working window. So I wake up at 6 on a Saturday morning and I have 7 clients to do from America and Australia. So that's that window done. I get that done so that I can go for a walk, get steps in, and then I come back, do another load, and then try and at least just leave myself 4 or 5 by the time I get back from the gym. Just the ones that check in slightly later. While I get my pre-workout meal in, I let that obviously enjoy this. Let's get a little bit of work done before we go and train. And got a surprise guest for today's saving session that you guys will see when we get down there. So today we are in Chosen Gym in Hangzhou, and I've got my client all the way from Cyprus, Anna here.
Hi.
How many weeks out are we now?
27.
27 weeks out.
Yeah.
So we just started our dieting phase. Okay, we've literally, all we've done, I think we got calories up to 2,900 in gaining phase.
Almost 3,000.
This little woman got up to 2,900 calories, right? A crazy amount of food, still maintain abs that whole way through that growing phase. Literally from the moment we came, I think you came to me and we were on, what was it, 1,200, 1,300?
Yeah.
And we worked from her previous coach, we worked all the way up, reversed her out to that diet, still keeping weekly cheat meals in, but the cheat meals are gone now. Now we need to lock in, because the first show we got is PCA First Timers. Is that the
20th.
20th of September?
Yes.
So, time to get her ready. Let's run her through a hams and glute session in the UK. So, the main thing I think me and Anna worked on as soon as she came over to me was maintaining form throughout, wasn't it? I think Anna knows how to train. She knows how to feel her body, right? She's clearly spent a lot of time training with the muscles that she's built, but it was all about time under tension, improving how she actually feels. And how do you feel like your training's improved with that?
Really, really good. I'm enjoying my training right now.
Yeah.
And I don't actually in my head about if I'm doing it correct or not. I'm just like, I know what I'm doing right now.
I think we sent so many form videos back and forth at the beginning. Now I don't really need any of Anna, because Anna knows exactly what we expect. Tempo, time under tension, range of motion, that's completely under control now. So reason why we only doing 2 warm-up sets is because we don't want to fatigue. A warm-up set is just basically to try and get us ready for the movement. A warm-up set is literally just like, okay, if I've got 10 to 12 reps to do on my working set, I should be doing 7 on say 50% of the weight, then 75% of the weight. It's just literally just readying yourself for that working set, not fatiguing yourself. So trying to do what I used to do when I first started going to the gym is 20 reps, then 15 reps, then 10 reps. I think that's like a thing that everyone used to do. Like, it used to be like, if your top set was 100 kilos, you do like 40 on 20 reps, then you do 50, 60 on like 15 reps, then you do 10 reps. By the time you get to 100 kilo, you're so tired from all those previous sets that you get like 1 or 2 reps. So what was the point in that? It ruins the set. There's a big thing now about kids saying about being exhausted after a set, that anything more than 2 sets is too much. I remember I used to go to the gym and it used to just be go in and feel how your body feels and see how heavy you can lift. There's too much about them saying about, oh, what can Dorian Yates do? How many sets did he do? None of these guys are Dorian Yates or actually got the ability to take it to failure like these guys do. When their training gets accurate enough, then you can start thinking about, okay, I'm gonna start doing an underhand row to hit my lower lat. But until you actually have the muscle to say you have a lat, just go in and train and do the big movements. I remember the first thing that I always used to do is come into the gym and go for your biggest lift first. Well, the problem with that is you've got no warmth within your joint, so all you're gonna do is more than likely go too hard on it and get injured, rather than starting with all of the other movements. Then you don't actually need to go as heavy on that compound because you're already pre-fatigued. Being pre-fatigued means you can use less weight, causes less tension in your tendons. Especially if you're an assisted athlete, you're going to be able to do a lot more than what your tendons can because the muscles repair faster. So focusing on the actual compound as a sort of movement to, yes, get the full range of motion and build the muscle, but not have to go as heavy, is going to be much more beneficial as a bodybuilding standpoint, rather than if you're going for a powerlifting and you're trying to go for lifting as heavy as possible, then yeah, of course, that's obviously the thing is to come and do the biggest lift possible. Whereas this is a glute and hamstring session for me as well, okay? But my bias is winding in the glute. Whereas Anna needs a full round glute. She needs to work on the top, medial head, and the interior as well. So we had to hit it from all angles. Whereas a bodybuilder, we just really want that density and to box them off as much as possible. Now I'm obviously gonna be wearing the little thong instead of the, do you like that one? Instead of the broad shorts. We're coming away from the broad shorts. But I think red might be my color, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but we need to have the glutes on show. We need to be able to show the striation through them. So it's something that I'm training myself. Whereas Anna needs that ham glute tie-in. That's more the bikini look that we go for. If that tie-in is nice and dense, then it's going to really show on stage when she gets lean. So, good to finally meet Anna, my client from Cyprus, in person. Like, we've been obviously speaking for a prolonged period of time, and we've built on a very good friendship before we've actually started working together. And we've just literally put food up into such a good place where she has got the easiest prep that I can possibly think of. I feel like, comparison to most preps, it's going to be a breeze. However, a first-time prep is always a first-time prep. It's going to be difficult for anyone. No one understands what getting that condition is like. And the difference is that not the differences, but the challenges you face when you're taking yourself to a point when your body is that lean that it's begging for food 24/7. No matter how much food you are on to get lean, your body is still gonna struggle because it doesn't want to be there. And especially for females where they're losing their menstrual cycle and things like that, these are the sort of things that we've spoken about. But it's amazing to finally see her in person and to see the shape that she's already got. Like when we're looking at her back shots, like, her waist has literally disappeared from the back.